everyone, this is Seka in the Broom Closet. Thank you for coming to hang out with me today. I am trying to get back into the swing of YouTube now that the girls that I nanny are back in school. I will try to be back online. In this video, I wanted to share, I'm trying to actually get my life a little more organized, and the first thing that I did for you was to make a list of all the videos that I want to make. This one I didn't even list, but I was looking at my cabinet over there, and as some of you know, I have since built a bookshelf. However, the bookshelf is really high, so I had to make some deep cuts about which books I wanted to keep down where I could reach them. I'm gonna be sharing the books that are in my bookshelf and where I'm at with my 2018 reading challenge for the year. So I didn't talk a whole lot in my last video, but I am praying for everyone in Texas right now, whoever has been affected by this Hurricane Harvey. Please keep them in your thoughts, and I know there are many donation and help centers for the victims of this hurricane, so please think about them, send them your wishes and your good thoughts. I'm not sure if anybody else uses this website. I use Goodreads.com to keep track of all the books that I'm reading because I like having lists. I like knowing what I've read and what I rated it and what I thought about it, because some of the books I have on there are from like 2015, 13, 14. And I don't remember a whole lot of them, so reading the reviews and then rereading some of the books has really been eye-opening. So if any of you use Goodreads, I would love to become friends there, and I love getting suggestions on what to read. Please find me on there, and I will see if I can link myself to here from there. Now the list I have in front of me only has the title of the book, so along the side I'll try to include the author. Most of these I read on Kindle, and then I really got into Audible. Most of them are on Audible too. Little trick, if you're done reading your Audible books and you don't have any more credits, return them. There's a section you go into your account and you just return your book. If you are no longer eligible for the returns for your books, you call them and tell them which titles you want to return. They give you the credits back. But here are the books. A Unquiet Mind, Siddhartha, The Wettest Country in the World, The Hobbit, The Morrigan, Goddess 2.0. My books for February, Goddess in Every Woman, The Goddess Changes, and The Moonlit Path. There was kind of a theme going on there. March was Glass Castle, The Science of Remarkable Sex, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, and Mythology, a Visual Aid. And actually that's the one book I think I have on my shelf from this list. April was Big Little Lies, Alexander Skarsgård hype, The Third Angel, Alice Hoffman, Wheel of the Year, Screwtape Letters, The Witch's Daughter, The Firebird, Bloodroot, and Witches of Eastwick. For May, I only read one book, and it was kind of an accidental buy. It was in a classic recommended section, and I think it was recommended because I did order that Science of Remarkable Sex, but it's called The Fermata. I don't recommend you reading this on Audible around children or anyone you would be embarrassed to listen to graphic things. It is not like 50 Shades of Grey, but it's for an adult. In June, I read Tracks. I'll just sideline to talk about this book because it was one of the best books that I've read in a long time. I like nonfiction and biographies because it actually happened to someone. So Tracks is about a woman in Australia who took 3 camels and her dog, I think it was like 2,100 miles, something, don't quote me on that, across the Australian outback in the late 70s, 80s in there, and was documented by National Geographic. So Tracks was one, and then the only other one was As You Wish. Has anyone ever seen The Princess Bride? It is a classic, I'm sure you have. As You Wish was done by Carrie Ells, who played he wasn't Prince. Wesley! He played Wesley! Hashtag Dread Pirate Roberts is about the making and filming of The Princess Bride. My books for July, the very first one, would be Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Yes, she is the same woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and I have read that one. I've read one or two of her other books. Another one of hers was Last American Man. The story would have been very good. I'm not a huge fan of her style of writing, and I had Big Magic on an Audible download. Having her read it was much better. She definitely writes like she talks, so having her talk to you was a lot better than just reading it in your own mind voice. Biography on Stan Rogers, he's one of my folk idols. Power of Myth, that is also a classic. That one you can download on Audible as well. It's more of a interview between Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers. And lastly, I think the last one I read, and I read it every year, multiple times a year, I just flip through, but this time I reread it front to back and listened to the Audible, was Practical Magic. I really want fall to be here. It is so daggone hot. So those were the books that I've read so far this year, and I'm currently tiptoeing back through Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and I'm just starting. I feel like I've been reading it for a while on Audible, but it's like this much progress. Iliad and the Odyssey. Those are the books on my list. In no particular order, these are the books on my shelf. Maybe we'll do the large ones first. I was cleaning out my storage closet in here, and I had a whole bin titled textbooks. I got rid of a lot of them because they were books about organizing. When I had my organizing business, I would go to people's houses and like clean out their stuff. But one of the books in there was my college art history book. Used, of course, Gardner's. This is one of the big guys on my shelf, and I'm looking through it, and they're not all my highlights, they're not all my notes, but it has everything from, would this be Byzantine? See, I didn't pay attention to art history. Byzantine art to modern art. This is a big one on my shelf right now. It's not like a cover to cover read, but I just found this nostalgia in it, and I am really interested in art history. The next three kind of all go together. I have two other large books about this size, a little bigger, about natural remedies. I just try to do my own herbal or natural healing. So this book is on my shelf right now because my friends come over with their sunburn, or, you know, it's mostly the easy stuff, but every now and then I'll get a tricky one, so I consult my 1001 home remedies, doctors and nurses, Reader's Digest, one I got from bargain price books at Barnes & Noble. I can't wait to have my own kitchen. My kitchen now consists of about 1.5 feet of counter space and one sink. So this is natural beauty skincare, and this covers cleansers, shampoos, hair masks, scrubs, and how to make all the recipes. I can't wait to make it. And maybe this is practical magic seeping into my home life. I really just want to make my own stuff. I want to smell good, and I want to be able to eat it if I want to eat it. And lastly, for remedies, I have herbal remedies. These are really, really awesome because they're all colored. I don't recall how much this one was, but it is a stunning, beautifully printed book. Visual reference guide. Okay, and since we're on the visual reference guide, I will share my mythology book. This one's awesome! A friend of mine left, and I was house sitting for her, and she had this on her coffee table. I loved it. I fell in love with it because it's very, very easy to read. Each page has a different story. It is organized by culture. Greeks, there's Egyptians, there's the Islanders, there's Asian culture, there's African culture, Hispanic culture. My notes are falling out. I went through and tried to tag all of these practical magics, always on my shelf. Alice Hoffman has another book coming out called The Rules of Magic, and it is the precursor to this book, and that will be out October 12th? Sometime in October. This was also, I believe, in the bargain shelf palmistry. I am so interested in all of the metaphysical, so this is also a beautifully printed book. Palmistry, Practical Guide to Reading Your Fortune by Anna Southgate. And it's a really nice, it's hardback, it's kind of a textured cover. Year of Ritual. I have another book that is similar to this by Lelwyn. This is a Year of Ritual, and this incorporates solo practices as well as group ritual. One for each of the Sabbats, and then in the back they have the Esbats. Lastly, this is the newest book that I got because this author, Simone Butler, was our special guest teacher at the 2 classes ago for my priestess training. And this whole book is about your moon sign. I am an Aquarius moon, and she has revealed to me that I am a perfect balance between male and female aspects. Moon Power by Simone Butler. It is also, I think it's in color. Oh yes, yes. It has color pages. You can find out your moon sign. There are different websites. You just go, you type in your date of birth, the time, and the location, and usually they get it pretty correct. But this is about your lunar shadow, your superpower, your sexual nature, your karmic path, and this is more geared toward women. It gives the goddess that is associated with that moon. So this one was beautifully done, and my goddess for my moon is Rhiannon, which I thought was pretty cool because I'm obsessed with Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac. These were my books that are on my shelf. But I'm currently trying to continue on with my reading challenge. Here's Big Magic from earlier. This is what it looks like. Creative living beyond fear. I'm making videos again! Everyone, I hope you're doing wonderfully, and I can't believe I did this kind of the whole way through. I'm kind of impressed. Thank you so much for hanging out. I would love to know what books you're reading and what you have on your shelves. I know some of you are busy bees lately, but everyone take a breath and enjoy your day. I'm wishing you many blessings from me to you. Au revoir.